Please come in.
That's good. Keep the seat.
Good afternoon. Sure. To the Batmobile. Let's go. Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed. Roger. Ready to move out.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Batman. The Batman readings are a series of talks about different psychological theories. The Batman discussed Freud, Nietzsche, and existential psychology before, and now it's time for Dr. Zimbardo. Or Zim, Dr. Z, or the other Dr. Phil, as people tend to call him. So let's put this time thing in perspective, a limited perspective, because I only have 30 minutes. And God, I hope my voice won't crack. Apart from catching the same villains over and over again, they always tend to escape from my prisons. I have a lot of time to read articles and books, and I read the articles and books of Dr. Zimbardo the last couple of years. I watched Zim do his presentations from rooftops in Gotham City, and I read some things about this man as well. Oh, make an entertaining presentation, he said. It should be fun, right? As if Batman knows fun. I like it how you read, Dr. Zimbardo. The good teacher is the one who makes us feel that we already knew what he just told. And that's what you accomplish. Nothing new in it. But a few points I would like to highlight. One could call them misunderstandings. This presentation is not the classical father murder. I will slightly correct Zimbardo. No intentions to harm. For education and entertainment of use only. So where do we all come from? Zim and I, we have a lot in common. We're both highly intelligent. We both fight evil villains. Okay, we might come from different families. Zimbardo comes from a poor Italian family. My father was a zillionaire. We both fight crime with our intellect. We build things. Zim writes things. And we both put people in jails. We were even born about the same time. Zimbardo is a bit older, actually. I had my first comic appearance in 1939, and my first own comic in 1940. This all happened in the 30s. America sunk into a Great Depression, and Europe was on the verge of war. The world needed heroes. I was created, and Zimbardo was born. There was going to be a lot of fighting for decades, evil, inequity, and eventually time. And when we grew up, we looked around. We saw our friends make the wrong decisions. Zim grew up in a bad neighborhood in the South Bronx in New York. I know these places, you know. It's called Crime Alley in Gotham City, where me and my parents once went to.
Keep up, please. Where are you taking us?
We got through here.
But it's starting to rain. Bruce is tired. Can't just wait right here.
Come on, keep up. We're nearly there. Please, there's no need for this. Stay with me. I'll give you whatever you want.
Tom! Oh God, Tom!
Be quiet, lady. Just shut up.
Stay away from me! Run! Mommy!
Now how's that for a little trauma? A scene from a video game I actually liked. Just don't tell Zimbardo I did. And this is where it all started, you know. What I witnessed there. the murder of my parents. Let me tell you about my dead parents. No, wait, let me make another movie about that. Good people going bad, and bad people going good. But the bad thing, Dr. Zim, is that life isn't that simple. There might be not a simple bad and a simple good, but we all make choices. We can be heroes just for one day, but for that, we might need to understand the human mind.
But if you grow up in inner city, there's temptation around you of all kinds to do anything for money. I had lots of friends who were really good kids who did really bad things. The other thing about inner city, it's ugly. There's no trees, there's no flowers, and the problem is the ugliness in your environment you have to prevent from coming into your spirit. Because you don't want that ugliness, because the ugliness breeds hate and hopelessness. Really what you want to live a life that's full of love and hope. So what happened is, in that ghetto, there are agents of the devil, always there to seduce good kids to do bad things. And some of you know that I studied in my research, and I wrote a book called Lucifer Effect, how easy it is for good people, even good, intelligent college students, to be seduced to do bad things in certain situations. That's the old me. The new me used education as the key to unlocking a new world beyond the limits and temptations of the ghetto. And so now, I'm a famous professor from a famous university, Stanford University, that Sandra Dale kind of graduated from. I did a famous experiment at Stanford Prison Studies, and it's all because of education. No one in my family had even gone to high school. My family was Sicilian. My grandfather was a shoemaker. My other grandfather was a barber. And I'm here only because the only difference between them and me is I got educated. She was inspired by one professor. I was inspired by my elementary school teachers, my junior high school teachers, to make my life filled with trying to understand how the world works, especially how the human mind works. So the new me is
How the human mind works. We all have choices, but we need to be aware of that. And education is the key. Such a smart and lovable man, this Zimbardo. But I started wondering, is he infallible? Does he make mistakes? Can he fail? Everyone seems to like him. Of course, I don't. I don't like anyone. Does he bleed? Tell me, Superman, do you bleed?
Next time they shine your light in the sky, don't go to him. The bat is dead. Buried. Consider this mercy. Tell me. Do you bleed? You will.
Yeah, well. But you should pick your battles, Zimbardo. With the right tactics and preparation, I can even fight Superman. Without it, you cannot even fight the talk show host.
Lucifer is God's favorite angel, right?
Until he disobeys. Go ahead.
But why does he disobey? Because God says, I have just created this perfect creature, Adam, and everybody has to obey him. And Lucifer says, wait a minute, he's a mortal. Mortals are corruptible. We're angels. I refuse. And that's disobedience to authority. So the reason Lucifer, as the devil, seduced Adam is to say, God, I'm right and you're wrong. This guy is corruptible. He's not somebody we should respect. He is just an ordinary mortal.
But in that case, Lucifer was right.
Lucifer was right and God was wrong. But
Okay. Okay.
If God was into reconciliation, he would have said, I made a mistake. Okay? God created hell. Paradoxically, it was God who created hell as a place to put Lucifer and the fallen angels. And had he not created hell, then evil would not exist. So you would not have the same
Evil exists because of the disobedience of Satan. God gave Satan, the angels, and man free will. Satan used his free will and abused it by not obeying authority. Hell was created by Satan's disobedience to God and his purposeful removal from God's love, which is what hell is, removing yourself from God's love. You send yourself to hell. God does not send you there.
Obviously, you learn well in Sunday school.
I teach Sunday school. Dr. Zimbardo, thank you so much for joining us. The book is The Least Perfect.
Well, I'm afraid Zim does believe. This is a scene from Stephen Colbert's report in 2008. He supposedly bled at the end of the Stanford prison experiment as well. So we should go down, descend to the deep dungeons of Stanford, where the innocent turned evil. Students became prison guards, Zimbardo became immortal. I tried to imprison villains as well, you know. Without much success, they always escape.
And everybody else who came down into that situation, got caught up into that situation. And the sense that this was an experiment, that began to fade away. It became just life.
We frankly didn't anticipate what was going to happen. We tried to really test the power of the environment to change and transform otherwise normal people, much as Milgram had changed or transformed otherwise normal people in an obedience situation. We wanted to do it in a prison-like situation.
Over 70 men volunteered for Zimbardo's experiment.
And they completed a battery of psychological tests. And we picked 24 who were the most normal, most healthy. Half are going to be guards, half are going to be prisoners. It's like flipping a coin, and heads, this one's a guard, this one's a prisoner. So at the beginning, there's no difference.
At the beginning, there's no difference. This is an interesting hypothesis, a very romantic one. We're all alike when we are born. Even when we're adults, as Zimbardo postulated, there are no differences. Of course, this cannot be true. Not in terms of character, personality, or even time perspective profile, but at a surface level, even the Joker agrees with Zimbardo. Just one bad day, or one bad role description in a psychology study, makes a difference between being like everyone else and becoming the Joker. One bad day. This implies that any of us could easily become heroes as perpetrators of evil, depending on how we were influenced by situational forces. That's what he says. It's an interesting viewpoint. Some would call it the simplicity of social psychologists. It's the system. Stupid. Great things crawl out of chaos, but evil things do as well. Some say evil things are born with order, within order as well. Or the other way around, as the Mad Hatter teaches us. Chaos out of order. And how come people behave irrationally under irrational circumstances? Why? So are the monsters inside some of us, as the clinicians and the general public assume? Or are the murderers in all of us? Do we react to chaotic circumstances, to threat, to anarchy? Or do we turn evil when there's too much authority?
Come on, you miserable
What is wrong?
What's wrong? You're a psychologist, for Christ's sake, and you're asking me what's wrong?
You're missing the bigger picture. This study has the potential to help people.
Yes, felons, maybe, but those are kids. Kids who have never committed a crime in their lives.
Kids who volunteer, kids who are being paid money, kids who can leave whenever they want to.
Tried. Every single one of them came to your parole board and all but begged. And I was sitting there going, what's wrong with these kids? Why don't they just quit? What are they trying to prove? What are they so afraid of? It's you. They are afraid of you.
That is absolute nonsense. You're not looking at this like a psychologist.
Well, I'm a human being, Phil. I have empathy for other human
But
beings.
you want to cut it in this field if you're going to get so emotional over some basic procedure. Hey, look. You, of all people, I don't want to understand what I tapped into in my prison.
Next Friday we're going to show the movie. I stole it from the internet. Now that's how we superheroes deal with them ladies, Dr. Zimbardo. She's never gonna make it in psychology. Great future teller you were. This lady needs a little verbal spanking for sure. Zim went to see the other Dr. Phil. Interesting career move, I would say. Particularly when you engage in a rather silly experiment. And again, the screen talks about good people. People are no good, nor bad, Dr. Zimbardo. That's one of the things you taught us.
Someone who seems like an authority, someone who seems like an authority, someone who seems like an authority.
How things go wrong. Well,
In this demonstration, we want to see whether ordinary people blindly obey someone who seems like an authority when
this was supposed to happen.
someone who seems like an authority,
Someone
someone who seems like an authority,
authority,
someone who
and
seems
then
like
you
an
go
authority,
and
someone who
visit
seems
Dr.
like an
Phil.
authority, someone who seems like an authority, someone who seems...
Okay, about heroes now. So when you focus on the badness of man, you'll want to become heroes after a while. I made that step, you know, witnessing the chaos death of my parents. I became Batman. Did I tell you about the death of my parents? This is probably the most interesting thing that I learned from Zimbardo. Science is above man. We are but mortal messengers. It is our duty as scientists to share. Science is an ideal. Science is justice. We can all be Batman. We can all be Batman. When you look at the Batman universe, there are different roles. There are Batmans from the past. There are present Batmans. And there's a Batman from the future. And here you see these three roles combined in one picture. That's Batman, Old Man, Robin. And that's Damien, the son of Batman. Damien becomes Batman. First he becomes Robin. And then Batman dies.
Wait. You could die. At least tell me your name.
It's not who I am, Dirk, but what I do that defines me.
Bruce?
I think my voice is better, actually. It's not who I am underneath. It's what I do that defines me. So a little word about shyness, because it's one of the topics Zimbardo wrote about as well. There's a reason, you know. In his most interesting book about the psychology of Batman, Travis Langley discusses mind mask and suit as well. And he quotes Zimbardo in his book. But what about my mask, Dr. Zim? It helps me to put an end to destructive activities, it seems. The mask is not to hide who I am, the individuating me. It's a tool to be able to create who I am. Quote, Batman. It shines another light on shyness, I think. Shyness is a problem for some, maybe even a disorder for others. But it's not epidemic of epidemic proportions, Dr. Zimbardo. And maybe the problem turned the other way around, actually. There's a total lack of shyness these days. A generation of me people. Time perspective is probably the main reason you're all here. It's Zim's attempt to better understand human behavior, or maybe defy death itself. When you conquer time, nothing can hurt you. What makes us all interested in time here? The main reason must be that we are all afraid to die. I was very pleased to see that Professor Solomon is joining us this event. I'm sure he can teach us about the significance of time related to our awareness of our imminent death. There are some really interesting movies on time. And one of the most interesting, I think, is Lucy, which is actually not about time at all.
Humans consider themselves unique, so they've rooted their whole theory of existence on their uniqueness. One is their unit of measure, but it's not. All social systems we put into place are a mere sketch. 1 + 1 = 2. That's all we've learned. But 1 + 1 has never equaled 2. There are, in fact, no numbers and no letters. We've codified our existence to bring it down to human size, to make it comprehensible. We've created a scale so that we can forget its unfathomable scale.
But if humans are not the unit of measure, and the world isn't governed by mathematical laws, what governs all that?
Film a car speeding down the road. Speed up the image infinitely, and the car disappears. So what proof do we have of its existence? Time gives legitimacy to its existence. Time is the only true unit of measure. It gives proof to the existence of matter. Without time, we don't exist.
Time is unity.
Time is unity.
Natural selection. The process by
Something
which
about the
the
future
smartest,
now.
The smartest, the fastest, reproduced in greater numbers than the rest. A process which had once favored the noblest traits of man, now began to favor different traits. Most science fiction of the day predicted a future that was more civilized and more intelligent. But as time went on, things seemed to be heading in the opposite direction, a dumbing down. How did this happen? Evolution does not necessarily reward intelligence. With no natural predators to thin the herd, it began to simply reward those who reproduced the most and left the intelligent to become an endangered species.
Having kids is such an important decision.
We're just waiting for the right time. It's not something you want to rush into, obviously.
No way.
shit, I'm pregnant again.
I got too many damn kids. Thought you was on the pills and shit.
Hell no.
Must have been
Brittany! No, you can't. There's no way we could have a child now. Not with the market the way it is now.
That just wouldn't make any sense.
You don't care about you. Yeah, well, there must be something he likes over here.
You not to me, baby?
Well, we finally decided to have children, and I'm not pointing fingers, but it's not going well.
And this is helping.
I'm just saying that before I have in vitro, maybe you should be willing to...
It's always me, right?
Well, not my sperm count.
Yeah! I'm gonna fuck all of you!
Cleavon is lucky to be alive. He attempted to jump a jet ski from a lake into a swimming pool and impaled his crotch on an iron gate. But thanks to recent advances in stem cell research and the fine work of Drs. Krinsky and Altschuler, Cleavon should regain full reproductive function.
Hands on my junk!
Unfortunately, Trevor passed away from a heart attack while masturbating to produce sperm for artificial insemination. But I have some eggs frozen, so just as soon as the right guy comes along.
And so it went for generations, although few, if any, seem to notice.
Idiocracy, ladies and gentlemen. We need to put an end to this. What are you doing?
The car explodes in 2 minutes. I can fly it out over the bay.
You could have gone anywhere, but you came back here.
So did you.
I guess we're both suckers.
Shouldn't people know the hero who saved them?
A hero can be anyone. Even a man doing something as simple as putting a coat on a young boy's shoulders. I may or may not have been that boy.
Oh, really?
Boy, I don't know. Maybe he just had his parents murdered.
Right.
Making me.
Oh my God, you're Bruce Wayne. You know there's a bomb that's gonna go off.
It's not who I am.
But what you do that defines you.
It's what I do that defines you. I forgot to mention, no autopilot. So I'm straight up sacrificing myself for my city.
Oh, that is so sad. Oh, look at the time.
Pretty heroic. For a masked vigilante, whose name we don't even know. Perhaps Bruce Wayne.
Oh my God, he hasn't left yet.
I told him.
Marion, are you forgetting something really important?
Oh, right. Selena, I forgot to give you the clean slate.
Look at that. You already gave me the clean slate, so you can go.
The clean slate. The ultimate tool for a master thief with a record.
I already know what it...
The clean slate that wipes your record clean. Clean as a clean slate.
I don't know about the clean slate, just go!
Clean slate. I forgot to do my stretching.
Alright, you're about to die, so you don't really need to stretch.
Okay. It's a little morbid, but fair point. I'm out.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Farewell, I'll be saying goodnight. I